objectives. Let's say towns of Firuzabad, Hikaru, and Sake to the south of Firuzabad, which is in the south. They're going to be our objectives. So you open up the right panel menu if it already isn't, and go to markers, F6. Should have a list of standard military markers. Everyone tracking?
Yep.
Okay, so for the objectives, since it's nice and clean, we'll use destroy. Is the cross. Double click on that once you place it down on Firuzabad.
Doesn't have to be a double click, but still.
And set it to red. It doesn't matter exactly where the marker is, as long as it's indicating the general area of the objective. So in this case, we're just going to have blue 4 clear Firuzabad. Now we can copy and paste that marker and put one on Kakaru.
Well, how do you set it to red?
Double click on the marker. And it's got a little drop down menu.
In the stream, I've done it a couple times.
Saki, what's the other thing?
Alright.
Sake and Kakaru to the east of Sake.
Okay, so 3 markers, right?
And we can decide exactly what the objective is going to be for each of them. If you have any ideas, throw them out, because, you know, at the end of the day, they're all just excuses to shoot dudes.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing something specific.
We could like clear Firuzabad, then like find a bomb maker in Kakaru, then clear the IED thread in Sake.
Okay, yeah, let's say for
Something
example, for argument's sake then, Kakaru is extract HVT. So
Okay.
we double click the marker on Kakaru, and under text, under the variable name, we'll type in extract HVT, or just HVT, it's up to you. Because we'll expound on each of these in the briefing. And Sake, we will clear IEDs. And let's say for Firuzabad, let's say it's assassinate the officer. Just for funsies.
Assassinate what?
Assassinate the officer. And I mean, this is just really elementary shit. We'll get more creative. You actually go and make a mission for yourself. Alright. Now, since we're not using helicopters, we go back over to the... Is everyone caught up? Has anyone not done the markers yet? Alright. I'll take that as no. So let's go back to the airfield. Yeah, here is where we want to decide what kind of assets we're using. In this case, let's say we have one IFV. So the principle is the same as with removing the playable factions we don't want to play as. Just like with that, we want to remove the assets that we're not using. If you go back to your Blue 4 platoon, look around, the guys at the back are vehicle crews. So we've got IFV-1, IFV-2 and tank. And behind them, we've got the transport helicopters, attack helicopter, and medevac. So, in this instance, we'll remove everything except the first IFV crew. You can do that by just putting your mouse over the group marker, which is the little square hovering above them. Just delete. That gets rid of a lot of them.
So we're just keeping IFV.
So what does this do exactly when we're slotting? This doesn't show up to be able to slot?
Yeah.
Okay.
So essentially all the dudes with pink circles around them are playable slots, and when we load up the mission to slot, that's what will be on that list.
Okay, tracking.
You said delete everything except for IFV1? Like down below it?
I forgot I wasn't in a
Right.
slotting multiplayer.
All specialties, yeah.
Okay.
Everything except, like, in terms of vehicle crews, the guys at the back of the platoon formation thing, we just want IFE1 there.
Okay.
I was
Alright,
going to demonstrate the slotting thing while you continue to elaborate, and I hit play, so I will be right. I'm sorry. I forgot we weren't in a multiplayer environment where I always make my mission. There we go.
Alright.
Sorry.
So, since one of our objectives is to disarm some IEDs, we're going to need the engineers. Now we're moving on to infantry specialties. We're not worried about the Taliban having fucking Planes are out, so we don't need Sam. We're not going to use Mortar because it'd be a bit unbalanced. And we'll just use one Matt and one MMG team. So delete all the specialties except Matt, MMG, and engineers. Or Matt 1, MMG 1.
MMG 1.
Got it.
And now,
Wait, I'm sorry. Delete Matt 1 and MMG 1. Everything.
Negative.
No,
No,
keep
leave
MG1
them.
and Matt 1.
Okay. And delete
Oh,
everything
yes.
else.
Engineer.
Yeah,
yeah,
if you have the
everything
stream
but
open,
those
then
guys
just
and
hit it.
engineers. And don't worry if you delete something by accident, you can just Control Z and get them back. And if you Control Z by accident, you can click the redo button at the top left.
Or Control Y.
That what it is?
Yeah, it's Control Y.
okay.
Yeah.
What does Control Y do?
Redo.
Redo.
Redo,
Control Z
okay.
is your undo. Control Y is your redo.
Oh, okay.
Should have recorded as fuck. I just.
I'm also streaming, so it records.
Okay,
cool.
good.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone not up to where we are? Alright, great. So now we need to decide what kind of IFV we're going to use. So we'll go to Objects, F1 in the right hand menu, which you can open and close with R. And let's take a look through what is we don't want something that'll wipe the floor with the enemies because we've decided we're going to be fighting mainly infantry in this mission.
What's the faction we're playing?
We'll get onto that. The faction we're playing right now, let's just say it's US Army.
Okay.
But we will go on to making gear scripts for the enemies.
Cool.
So for IFVs, if we type in that search bar, you can type in APC, and the vast majority of
Fuck me.
IFVs in that list will be filtered into that search. So
Nice.
I've got IFV Puma, BTR 60s, BTR 70s, M13s, all that shit. Let's go with the LAV 25, which is at the bottom. Doesn't matter particularly which one. I don't know, these guys US Army and it's a marine vehicle, but I don't give a fuck. Anachronism is fine in armor.
What's the difference between all of them?
Between which?
The
Oh,
LAVs 25.
The
Lav
camo
25 is
and the
newer,
type.
Lav 3 is older.
Wait, sorry, I couldn't
So-
hear you.
I've just gone with the one at the top of the list, LAV 25A1, but the difference between them is the camo they're using. There's a winter version and a woodland version, as well as a desert version, which is at the top.
Gotcha.
Since we're in a desert, we want the top one.
What we're literally doing in this context, boys, is just click on it. Click on where you want it.
Do we place vehicles with crew, or no?
No.
And what does that do?
That
So,
puts AI crew in the vehicle, and you can make them playable, but
Okay.
we already have the IFV crew as slots in the thing, in the
Just
framework.
so much better than the old school editor. My God,
I know, right?
It feels so sexy.
if
Really
you haven't
not
made
touched
missions
mission
with
making
Eden, it's
since
so
then.
much nicer.
But what about the vehicle factory?
I'm not too sure.
we're not
I'm
using
not
it
gonna
right now,
worry
right?
about it. Yeah.
So I'll
let's-
delete it if needed.
Yeah, fuck it, delete it. Let's skip over that for now.
That's kind of a new thing. It was added within the last
Yeah.
week.
The light factory, or
Just
like all of them?
yeah, delete all
Both
the factory
the
shit.
vehicle and the
the
aircraft
pad.
factory
Like,
are unnecessary.
at the end of the day, this is just to teach them the basics. I'm not going into advanced shit like that. Well, however advanced it is, I don't know. I've not looked into it properly.
It's about like a gear script.
Oh, okay.
You just find the vehicle class names and paste them in there.
Oh, that's simple enough. Alright, so we've all got our LAV 25 down on the map, right?
Yep.
Alright, and we want to put that somewhere close to the IFV crew so they know what they're driving. We're also going to want some light transport vehicles for Blue 4. So again, we can open up the asset menu and go into the search bar and let's say Humvees. So HMM, oh, that's not it. What is it?
Oh, I might have just fucked up.
Why what?
It's the
Do you accidentally?
M1025.
Yeah, I think
that's
so.
one.
Yeah, I don't know.
If
Canada doesn't use them.
If you filter by car, it'll show up further down the list. So
Yeah, M1025.
yeah, M1025A2 with, let's say, 2 with the M2. and then a couple unarmed. I don't know. Or 6. Place one down and then copy and paste each of them as you need. However many you think you need. You can place down a couple of trucks as well if we want.
Only 2 armed? Or does it not matter?
It doesn't matter. Like, it's just so you know how to find vehicles and put them down and shit. But it's also recognizing that, you know, it's a fairly long distance to cover on foot.
You also have a we have a Mark 19 and M2.
Yeah, it's which assets you include at your discretion as a mission maker. You could give everyone tanks. You could say half a platoon is attack helicopters and the other half is, I don't know, fucking divers or whatever. But yeah. So we got our Humvees, we got our Lav, we got our IFV crew, we got our specialists.
We haven't talked about rotating items and elements.
It's just
Yeah, look-
It
shift,
tells you.
right?
It tells you. It's shift. Yeah, it tells you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when you
it's
hover
true.
over
I
it,
want to
it tells you
verify
the
people
bottom.
knew that. Like, 'cause I've been doing it a lot in my stream. I just wanted to. Why we touched.
Yeah, we'll get onto that in this next bit, which is placing enemies. So, right now the default gear script should be Russians list. But yeah, for those of you who aren't aware, basically the way we place enemies is going to, in this case, it's going to be op4, so go into the assets list, objects, op4, find men under CSAT, and then these guys are going to have whatever kit the gear script is set.
HTTP file says.
So in this case, it's the Russian MSV, which doesn't really fit the theme, but that doesn't matter for now, because right now we're just putting down the guys where we want them.
Wait, how do you filter by op4? I'm sorry.
Alright,
Right,
There's a
yeah, it's the red diamond.
Got it. Tracking. Okay.
And yeah, you only want to use CSAT for people, unless you know exactly what you're going for. Because the gear script will apply whatever it's told to apply to each of the classes under CSAT. We can get more in depth with that on gear scripts, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's go to our first objective: assassinate the officer.
Can you just drag the camera over?
Yeah, you can open your
middle
map
mouse
and
button.
middle mouse, and it'll transport the camera there.
In this context, I actually have chosen to put an officer here.
So yeah, you want to scroll down and find officer. Officers will use the platoon commander loadout. So he's our HVT for this objective. We're going to put him in the barracks in the southwest military compound, Ruzabad. And we're going to put him on the second floor of that big square building with all the nice open windows, so
But I
we can
did.
shoot him from outside.
Is that building not enterable?
So how do you?
No, it
put
is.
'em-
It
How
is.
do you put them in the building?
You
Right, so- Put your officer
Frame
down and drag him into the building, and then you can click and hold, and then left out, or rather, left out, then click and hold, and drag him up to get him on the second floor. He should snap to the surface of the second floor, and yeah, once you've done that, you're good.
Yeah, I just
You can
scrolled
use
in
Q and
there.
Z to adjust the elevation of the camera.
Everyone good?
How do you get into the camera?
So
On the map.
you trying to get over to the compound?
I'm at the compound.
Oh,
Just trying to
okay.
make sure I've got them in the building.
You can move it around using WASD and using Q, so
Yeah,
Quebec,
probably,
and Zulu to go up and down. That allows
Probably
you
should have
to
explained this earlier.
traverse into and out of areas. You can go right through walls and such, and you can drag entities through walls. And
Yeah,
there's
Yeah, I
zip,
just-
Zilchanata.
I just clicked on the asset on the right hand side, and then I just left clicked on inside the building on the second floor, and he appeared.
Yeah, that
works
can work as
perfectly.
well. Depends on the exact object, or like especially if it's something that you've placed. Sometimes it won't work like that, but yeah. In this case, it does. So
All right.
we've got our officer where we want him, but we also want to make sure that he won't move. And this is a bit of a niche thing. You'll only really need to do it a couple of times unless you're making like a trench line. Let's double click on that officer, and you should see the init field.
Wait, fuck.
Let me know when you go.
The what field?
Okay.
Init field
Init,
initialization. Under object
Okay,
initialization.
I see it.
The init field, innit? Alright.
That's
So-
terrible.
In the init field, we're going to type this, which is this guy. Disable AI. And move in quotation marks. So, how about and paste that into the chat? So what that will do is, you know what? I've done that wrong. What this will do is prevent him from moving at all. And sort of ideal, because we don't want him to go anywhere, but we still want him to be a threat to the guys who enter the building if he ain't already dead. So, in this case, we actually want this disable AI path. That will just disable the part of his AI that handles pathing. So,
Yeah.
let's
The caps matter?
yes, no, maybe. Let's assume yes.
I actually don't know. I've never used the caps, and I've experienced no issues. But if it works with caps, then the answer is no. It does not matter.
I just go by whatever it says on the BI wiki. Try and follow that to the letter, because, you know.
I just go by whatever my dyslexia says.
Wait, we have to.
Yeah.
We actually have to type in this.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes, you do.
Because that is referencing that exact object. So if you don't type this, then it doesn't know what to disable the AI
Yeah.
on.
Exactly, and it'll call a syntax error. So if you put in this disable, just put in this dis, it's going to bring up a little pop-up, if you will, beneath what you're writing, and it identifies here unit, right, in yellow, and section. So unit here, it's saying, what do you want me to disable? And then it's asking, hey, do you want to complete this with disable AI, because that's what you're about to write. And at the end of it, it says section. So what section of disabling AI are we actually touching here? And in that regard, it helps you with syntax.
So let's go with another thing to put in there. Let's say we want him crouched, and this is useful for, like I was talking about earlier, having a fire team of dudes manning a trench line or something. So you want them all crouched. You want this set unit pos.
Do you need to close that with a semicolon?
I always
Yes.
do.
Yeah.
And if you're going to put another one afterwards, you absolutely do.
So yeah, you want to do this set unit pos mid. That will make him stay crouched. So those together should look like this. That'll make it so he don't move anywhere, and so he sits in his spot, which is wherever you've placed him. Alright, so we got our first objective set. Anyone need a bit more time? No? Okay, cool. Now we want to populate the surrounding area. Just keep in mind that there's no hard limit on how many AI you can have on the map, but it's best to keep them under 90. 70 if you can manage it, because Zeus will always be able to fill in and populate the next objectives as clearing it.
Yeah, and you can detail that all in the mission briefing, which we'll go over later.
Yeah.
One question, do we just keep his rank on private? Like, do we not worry about that?
Yeah, that
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Like, functionally, all rank does is determine what the succession of command is within a group. So, if you set the leader as colonel and then the next guy, what rank comes below colonel? Fucking lieutenant? I don't know. Then it'll go to that.
Lieutenant colonel and then major, but
Whichever whichever is in armor. I'm not talking real ones, but yeah, I'll say it's sergeant and corporal. That means the unit that's set to corporal will take command of that unit afterwards. But for AI, it really doesn't matter.
I mean, headless client will actually take that into account if you've got them grouped together. got to put the highest rank in charge. But
Well,
Yeah.
Arma does that automatically.
yeah,
It's not a big deal anyway. Like, point is, we don't need to worry about it. What we do need to worry about is putting some more dudes in this area, because clearing an objective with one guy in it wouldn't be very fun now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into groups, which is F2 in the right hand menu, or groups tab in the right hand menu. And again, you want to go under CSAT. And we'll use a couple fire teams. Let's say one to occupy the building that the office is in, one to go in the steel tin shed. And let's say a rifle squad for a patrol. So I've put down the 2 fire teams inside the compound, and the fire team, the squad outside.
you showed them how to put down full
What I
groups, didn't you?
Is anyone struggling with that? You all know how to get on groups?
No.
Yeah.
Press
I
F2.
don't. Oh, okay. Oh, compositions, gotcha.
Yeah, compositions is what it's called. Silly me. Alright, so again, you want to put down
In the old
CSAT
system, it's
squad.
called group.
So it uses the gear script that we've got. Yeah, we're going to change these guys to Talibans or some equivalent. Alright. So with each of these fire teams, they're going to garrison these buildings. So now we want to go into waypoints, which is F4, or the 2 feet.
How many fire
Okay.
teams were we supposed to put down? I'm sorry.
Just a couple, and then one
No worries.
full squad.
We're going to use F4 to go to waypoints. They're the pair of feet.
Wait, did you place them 2 separate fire teams or a squad?
You have
Okay.
the
Two separate
stream up on the
fire
next mod.
teams and one squad.
So that's rifle squad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now again, it doesn't matter which unit or which group you use in particularly, because this is just for tutorial purposes, but just keep in mind that the different classes will each have different stuff assigned to them in the gear script, and it will typically reflect what that is listed as. So if you look at the fire team, we've got an AR, he has an RPK, we've got a grenadier who has a grenade launcher, the fire team leader who also has a grenade launcher, and a rifleman AT who has AT. So do note that gear scripts are reflected in the editor. You do make changes, you'll have to reload the mission to see them, but you can also play the mission. Oh, again, we're jumping ahead here. So we've all got our fire teams and squad placed down, right?
Yep.
And a
Right.
couple of sentries on the hills.
You might notice that either the officer or one of the guys that we've placed down has a red ring around his little symbol. Anyone seeing that?
Yeah.
Alright. What that means is it's the unit that you've assigned yourself as the player, since this is technically a single player mission at this point. Don't worry about it, just remember which unit that's on. Because every time you place down an individual unit, it will set that for you, even though it don't help you. It's just a pain in the ass. So, if you were to upload this mission and we were to play it, that would be a playable slot. But back on track. So, what we want is for one of these fire teams to garrison the building that the office is in, and we can do that one of 2 ways. We can either move them into the building and place them by hand, and use the same bit of code we used on the officer to get them to hold position and take whatever stance is appropriate. Or we can go into waypoints, F4, and then under advanced there is garrison, and you want to get that as close to the building as you want them to garrison as possible, if not on the building itself. And sometimes it can fuck up and put them in the wrong building. It's best to check through either Zeus or camera once you preview the mission or QA it that that's functioning properly. So we'll give one garrison waypoint to the first fire team by clicking on any one of them, the composition marker or the leader, click on the garrison waypoint and click where you want them to go. So in this
That's
case,
inside a building?
it doesn't have to be inside. The garrison waypoint will just go to whichever is the nearest building. Yeah, and we're going to do the same with the other fire team on the tin shed. Building to the southwest of the HQ building. So, now we've got a bunch of guys occupying a couple of buildings inside the compound. Gives the players something to fight, but being the mission makers going into the mission, you might remember where you put all the guys, and sometimes that can be no fun. So patrolling is one good way to surprise yourself, make it a bit more challenging, and making patrols is really simple. If you go to the default drop-down menu in waypoints, we're going to select our squad or the squad leader and give him a number of move waypoints. So let's say one at each corner of the HQ compound or the target compound. And we're going to give them a fourth one close to the first waypoint we give them.
Doesn't matter which waypoint it is.
It has to be a move waypoint.
I got you.
Alright, anyone not up to speed?
So we're using move instead of cycle?
Yeah, I thought we were about to move for cycle, but
We're going to use a cycle waypoint now. So we've got our 4 waypoints set up in a square around the compound. We make sure we've got the last one selected, and then click on cycle. Then connect that last waypoint to the first move waypoint you gave them. And that'll have them repeat those 4 waypoints until they die, basically.
Cool.
yeah, you
Pretty
can see
easy.
it in the- you can see it link itself automatically in the stream.
Yeah. Keep in mind, if you do that with like a vehicle, say, and sort of just put the waypoints along a road, you don't have to put a bunch to follow the road exactly. The AI will go ahead and follow the road.
Yeah, AI drivers know what they're doing sometimes.
As long
as they're
That
in really-
sentence was very wrong for a moment.
It really depends on the map. Something like Altus, they'll have really good pathing on.
Pakistan is shit.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
Yep.
main roads are generally fine. Like, if it's got a proper road texture, it's fine. If it's going into an alleyway between a pair of compounds, don't count on it going the way you want to. But yeah, if you want some really nimble navigator shit being done by the AI, you can put that in the zoo. Again, we'll get onto. So yeah, here we've got our first objective pretty much set up. Anything else that we might want to include?
Yeah,
show
I
them
mean-
how to use the search box. Put down a couple bunkers or something. Trees. Bob Ross.
yeah.
Trees. Put down some trees.
Some happy little trees.
Alright, yeah, let's
Always.
if you look south of that compound on the hill, you'll see that little a little military compound with a bunker and a tower and 3 sides of a wall.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go into props, which is the yellow little symbol thing on objects.
Make
Under
you're still
F1?
not on, yeah, make sure you're still not on compositions. There are compositions of things, like you can smack down full finished fobs if you really don't want to be bothered to build your own fob.
It's better to take the time though.
Yeah, I mean, because you guys have all seen the pre-built fobs. Like, we spawn them in with Zeus from time to time.
A lot of them have a lot of really unnecessary shit in them, like just objects and objects and objects. Decorations. Okay. So, in the props list, let's search for bunker, because what we're going to do is make a little sniper's nest up there. And if you scroll down to Structures European Cup and then Military, you'll see a couple of bunker smalls. It doesn't really matter which one of those we're going to use. Let's put it on that hill, overlooking Cruzabad from the vicinity of that compound. Doesn't particularly. Yeah, just for clarity's sake, it's the small sandbag bunker, the one that's like missing a backside. It's just open at the back. You know, the one we can place with
With
like
playing.
deployables.
Correct.
Alright, so we've all got that place down, and now we want someone to occupy it. So, in this case, with objects that we place down, and there are a lot of different buildings, like pretty much any building in the game you can put wherever you like. You could cover the entire hill in radio towers if you really wanted to. But with objects that we place down, AI typically suck at navigating, if they're even set up for that at all. And they will generally be unable to garrison buildings that we place down. So,
Well,
in this
that-
case...
In general, that's true, but a lot of the actual A3 items that Bohemia made, they can actually navigate. It has to do, again, with just mods, basically.
Yeah. Well, generally speaking, like, rule of thumb is experiment. If
Yeah,
you're not
in-
sure something will work, find out before we find out in the mission.
Test it. If it's not working as intended, try something else, or just let us know and we'll make it work the best we can with Zeus.
Alright, so we've got our bunker, and now we're going to place a sniper in there. You go back to Op4 under Objects, and scroll down to Men's Special Forces under the list of CSAT dudes. You will find the sniper. Put him down, move him into the bunker.
Your script wasn't set for it.
What do you mean?
I don't have a sniper in Special Forces.
Oh, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Multiple.
I mean, you're gonna have a sniper set for it, but he's just not gonna be quite right for the character.
No, there is a sniper in this gear script caller. You are using...
I was using the
right.
marksman arid one initially. I found it.
No
Yeah,
sniper. He doesn't have an optic though.
Yeah, we can fix
We'll
that.
get onto that.
Oh yeah.
But again, regarding gear scripts, it is based on the class name of the unit. So if you mouse over any one of those dudes on the right hand menu, or any object in there, it'll tell you the class name under what it calls it in the game.
Oh,
So in this
sniper
case, yeah, that's what it is, and that's what the gear script references.
Can we just
Again,
click their... Oh, so their stances when I'm editing the sniper, that's just the stance they start at, right?
Wait, so
you
you
know
said
what?
Yeah,
Right.
it doesn't
Sorry, go ahead.
work the same way as the code
And it does, okay.
They won't stay in that necessarily.
Yeah, generally the AI will take over. Kev, what were you saying?
you said in Special Forces, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
if you so if you collapse all the windows, there's a little minus button next to the search bar.
Right.
Open CSAT back up and find Men Special Forces underneath Men, and then you want to find the one that's just called Sniper. The other guys, they have different class names, so they won't use the Sniper gear script. They'll default to Rifle.
Yeah, I don't have one, dude.
It's under
Are you
men's
looking
special
at CSAT?
forces.
Men's
It's
special
a drop
forces,
down.
yeah.
Underneath
It's the one.
men.
Oh, I just searched for sniper and it popped up.
That works, but you got to make sure it's the right class as well. But if you're searching for a specific type of infantry units, if I type in sniper in that search bar, I've got the Chidaki insurgents one first, and then the CSAT dudes. So again, when we're placing AI, typically we want to use CSAT dudes unless we know that the mods that, unless we know that we want to place a modded unit. Okay, so we've got our sniper in his bunker, and we're just going to go over to the officer, copy the same shit from his init, and put it in the sniper, so he doesn't move. But in this case, since he's already in a reasonable stance, we're going to put this set unit pos up there instead of mid, so it'll stay stood up, instead of cowering in this bunker like an idiot.
Don't forget your semicolons at the end of each line.
You said up?
UP. Up.
Oh, right.
Semicolon only matters if you're adding more, though, right?
Right,
If it's less one.
Yes. Although in
It's
general,
good
if you're going to
practice.
get into coding, always end a sentence with that as like a period.
Yeah. I know.
Semicolon triggers the thing to say, okay, this is the end of this, time to start a new new process.
Alright, so yeah, that's basically all there is to placing down objects and units and stuff. What else? What else before we go to gear scripts themselves?
Can you
Well,
have
still have 2 other
units?
objectives
One at a
if you
time,
go.
guys.
Can you have units patrol with like a timed wait between areas? Like if I wanted these snipers to patrol the hill, but then wait at their little guard shack for like 2 minutes before the next patrol, is that something easy or something that is not basic?
I'm pretty sure it's something that's easy, but I don't know it. That's the thing with armor is everything that's easy is something
You
like
could
it's
do that on a
specific knowledge.
trigger or a timer,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure,
So
but-
so the best way to do that is very questionable. There are lots of different ways to go about doing it. I probably don't have the best way. I'd use triggers as well, personally,
Yeah.
with a trigger that counts down, and then when it fires, it moves them, and then when they come back, it re-triggers, and then it counts down, and then it moves them.
Well,
And that's how I do it, but it would be kind of a
well,
bitch to set up.
It wouldn't
let's
really be that
have
bad
a
to set
go
up.
at that then. So
Alright, sorry, I
Let's
took
go
it off
to
track.
the
Let's go.
no, it's fine. Like
A great
it's
question.
The
something I
answer
wanna
is
know,
it's
actually.
possible.
It's possible. There are
Yeah.
lots of different ways to do it.
Okay, all right. We'll investigate it later. All
We
right.
have 2 other objectives, though.
Yeah, like I say, the Zeus can handle that, but
Okay.
let's place down our HVT. We're gonna make him independent.
We already did put down the... that... HVT is the
other
officer.
HVT, yeah.
Yeah.
So, up your map, go down to Kakaru. Tell you what, now let's use a civilian. In this case, it doesn't matter where you're using the civilians from because typically there won't be a gear script for it, or there will be, but it'll be like targeted. In this case, we'll scroll down to Middle Eastern civilians, men, and we'll use any one of those.
That's racist.
Doesn't really matter.
I see African. I don't see.
They're down at
I
the
don't
bottom.
see-
Very
That's
bottom. Very
I don't
bottom.
see race.
I don't see race. No, I
No.
see Asian and African. Is it in one of those or?
Make
My
sure
Middle
your search
Eastern
bar
Eastern
is empty.
civilians are all the way at the bottom.
Yeah,
Yes,
make
you-
sure your search bar is empty. Go into the
Oh, I
Bible
see.
tab.
Middle East.
Make sure you're in objects. Yeah.
Also close the drop downs. See.
Yeah. Yeah, make good use of the collapse all button.
I love
Maybe
the collapse
sometime.
all button, yeah.
Right, so we're just gonna pop him down and shift him into any one of these buildings. One of them is his house where he keeps all his goats, slash wives, one of them. And again, we're gonna apply the same code to him. This disable our path so he doesn't run away. Doesn't matter if he's standing crouched or grown prone, but it's up to you whether you want to include that part.
He's
You can
prone
also
praying.
You can also set him surrendering. Remember that?
Just
Yeah, you don't
as.
add
Just
anything
chill.
for variable
So-
name.
How do you do surrender?
I assume you
Don't-
would just type surrender in quotation.
No.
No, you double click
Don't
him.
worry about that shit.
No,
Well,
there's
it's
a way
super
to do
easy.
it just straight up in the stances thing.
Base options.
Yeah, you can also have them handcuffed, but for the purposes of this mission, once we get onto Geo scripts, we'll add handcuffs to Blue Force so players can move up to him and pat him around as needed. So we've got our civvy there, and then IEDs. Okay, this is something where I don't know how to set them up. I don't know how to set up explosives. So we'll
I
trigger
do.
in the game. Is it just a matter of placing down the objects?
There's a couple different ways. The ones that say pressure plate on them. Yeah.
Those are the
you
ones I
just-
love.
You just place them
Oh,
down.
okay.
Um,
Right, yeah, if you go into objects, then props again, the yellow thing, type in pressure in the search bar.
Right.
You'll find a bunch of
literally
IEDs.
type in explosives or IED. Yeah.
really
I
good.
just put in
Message
IED.
comes.
So yeah, sprinkle a few of them around on the roads. I mean, if you want to go really in depth with it, you can put some in some doorways and make it really nasty.
Would it be in Sake will replace the IDs?
Yeah.
Alright.
You can also, like, since they generally spawn with a type of, like, terrain around them, you can, like, blend them into the ground and get really gay about it so that you can give some of us PTSD, or make our PTSD flare up.
Fucking goddamn it! I don't know how anyone. I had an ID when everyone else fucking missed one. Or no, I didn't. Will did.
I know the
But I was in the
feeling.
vehicle.
I found the one hidden inside a tree.
Wasn't there smoke?
But the ones that don't have pressure plate, mind you, are not going to go off. The ones that do have pressure plate, you get within a close range, and they're going to kill you.
Because they're fun.
You pretty much have to step on them. You can set them to triggers too, that blow up when somebody gets in the general vicinity.
Kinda
That's
gay, though.
this is just a little different.
Well, it makes it impossible to defuse them.
Can you daisy chain?
You can do
you can
just
try
about
them
anything.
with the trigger, but not normally, no.
I like to use the
I'll
trigger
just
for that.
put fucking 5 of them in a row.
Yeah,
All right.
doesn't really matter.
Okay.
I think that about wraps it up for the editor itself.
Are they set off instantly, or do you have to do something to them to make them active?
The ones that say
IDs?
pressure plate are the
pressure
ones
plate
set off.
ones, yeah.
Yeah, dug in
Stop-
pressure plate,
stop
so
on them,
they're
go.
already set off.
Yeah, if
the
they
ones
get
that say
stepped on,
dug
they'll go
in
off.
or
They're
urban.
like a mine.
Yeah,
They're
but
exactly
you usually have to
like
activate the pressure plate though. You don't have to
You
do
do.
No,
No.
no.
No,
Okay.
you don't.
Okay.
So from
Only
the
when you
editor,
place them down like that.
yeah, from the editor,
Alright.
you don't have to
Let's
activate a pressure
can
plate.
this. Any questions before we move on to gear scripts? Alright then. Okay, so... Sorry, you saying something?
No, I was just saying I put a trash ID in the actual
Oh
trash.
yeah, one thing.
So we can save
go on.
this, right?
Yes.
For
Uh,
variables,
control S.
we don't have like a variable name for them though, right? Like that doesn't matter.
That's unnecessary.
Gotcha.
Unless you're doing
Unless you're using a trigger.
in either triggers or scripting with that particular unit or object, yeah, you don't need to worry about variable name.
And then how do I
Just say-
save it? Just scenario
Yes.
save?
The floppy disk up at the top. Yep.
And
Yeah, auto saves. at
Hold
least
up.
for me.
hold up, don't save it as anything other than what you've already got it saved as. Since
Right.
you've already got it as a mission file, you can just press Control S and it'll save it into the mission. If you save the mission and you've named it something other than what you changed the framework to, the way to fix that is just by copying the mission.sqm from that folder into the CMF that we changed. So CMF_60 learn shit.
Lastly, if we're already finished with the fucking editor, let's not forget to remove our player.
Oh yeah, good point. So yeah, for me, this is the fire team leader in the compound. Double click on him.
It's the one
Um,
outlined with the little red circle.
That's the one. And I imagine for most of you, it will be the officer. Scroll down about halfway down, you'll see a little drop down or a little tab called Object Control. It'll have a pair of tick boxes in it: player, playable, and role descriptions there as well. Just
Can I say
untick
something real
player.
quick?
Go on.
If you find yourself having trouble figuring out which player it is, open up the left top
Yep.
bar and look for the one that's highlighted red and not white. That means it's a player.
Just uncheck
Yeah.
the player box.
Yep.
Alright.
And yeah, on that note, if you open up that left menu, close and open it with the E, you'll see all the blue 4 dudes that we've got are purple or pink, somewhere between the two. That means that they're playable. That they'll be slots we see when we slot the mission. Alright. So that's pretty much everything. Let's make sure we've saved it.
And if they're white, you can slot at them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's all all 4 dudes we've placed down. And
Yeah.
want to make sure that's the case for the one that is set us as the player. Alright. Yeah, someone pointed out earlier that the sniper didn't have a scope, and if you look at the other squads, you'll see that, or the squad, you'll see that the guy with the SVD doesn't have a scope either. Well,
Yeah, that's because the gear script overwrites that, yeah. Even if you manually give it to them in the editor, it overwrites it.
Alright. So for now, we've got everything in our mission set up as if we want it, more or less. Back out of the editor. Oh, you know what? I should go over. Fuck.
It's alright.
Has everyone already jumped out their editor?
I'm still
No,
in it.
I'm still in it.
Okay.
I'm back.
Because I have, you see. But if you go to the top, you'll see a bunch of tabs. Can't remember exactly which one it is. Attributes.
Okay.
You'll see a bunch of shit like general, multiplayer. Open up the first one of those. In there you'll set the title of the mission, set up if you want like a preview image for it, the player count, that sort of stuff.
I removed the asterisk, right?
User left your channel.
And if it has asterisks, it's identifying, enter mission description, enter author name, enter mission title.
Oh,
Go ahead and
that shit,
overwrite
yeah.
that shit.
Yeah, just remove
Yeah,
that.
I just overread it. This
Alright,
is
I'm
a
back to the edit now, so
mission.
attributes in general, yeah, in there it should have your author, that's filled in automatic.
You go down to loading screen, it'll also have your load logo JPEG. That's what it's going to show us. Now it'll say picture load logo.jpg. That's already preset. You don't have to
We
change
don't need
that if
to
you
worry
don't want
about
to.
that shit. So what we are concerned about here particularly is the title of the mission. Make sure it's it's meant to be, and that you are credited as the author. And then at the bottom you'll see Independence Allegiance. And in this mission it doesn't matter because we're not using independence. But if, say for example, you want India's like some guerrilla force that Blue 4 are supporting, then you would want to make sure that the little cross swords on the blue symbol is two hands shaking instead.
Like
That makes independence and Blue 4 aligned, and same for Op 4. You can have them entirely neutral and not giving a shit about who's doing what. Have them allied to both. Alright. Also in the attributes drop down menu, you've got environment that lets you change the date, the time of day, weather, all that stuff. Let me get the mission loaded back up.
No worries. I just put my birthday in there.
Damn, you old,
I'm being
Claw.
that guy.
Not old.
You old.
Kind of old.
Alright. So, again, for the sake of argument, let's say we want it to be a moonlit night with clear skies. So, the year doesn't matter, but you can set it if you really want to. It'll only show up in the briefing, and it does affect which days have moon and which.
There's
Anyway.
a moon cycle.
Yeah. So we'll leave the date the same, except the day itself. So if you click on the drop-down menu, it should be 6th of July. You want to open the day drop-down menu and find one with a bright white moon on it. So in this case, it should be Wednesday the 11th.
Alright.
Alright, and you'll also see overcast. That's simple enough how much cloud is in the sky. The more overcast it is, the less the moon will illuminate the area.
Keep in mind, if you go over, isn't it 50% with that? It rains no matter what your precipitation set to.
You can
believe
disable
so.
that with the ACE weather module.
Can you? Nice.
In fact, yeah, we'll go over that. But yeah, you can also configure fog. Don't worry about forecast unless you want the weather to change at a specific time during the mission. And keep in mind that we'll also include briefing time. So if you've got weather set to change half an hour into the mission, if we're briefing for half an hour, it'll change before we get to the AO or whatever. I also forgot to go over the fucking deploy marker, but yeah, that's just. So yeah, for the sake of this, forecast, we'll leave that. Overcast, we'll set it to 0. Fog, let's set it to 12%. Rain, lightning, waves, wind, don't matter. Although, you can make it really windy if you want to, and make it really hard to hit shit past 100 meters. But we'll leave that for now. And yeah, since we want it to be nighttime, we'll drag that little bar underneath the little thing to midnight. Midnight is typically when the moon's the brightest. Get the most utility out of it. And it tends to be the Arma 2 maps that have, on Serrani as well, that has the best sort of moonlighting as far as visibility goes. But with this, like with nighttime missions especially, you want to preview it in the editor to make sure it looks how you want, and that the lighting conditions aren't going to change in 5 minutes. And it's then going to be horrible to see. We can go over a few ways to address that. So, like Phil mentioned, you have overcast set beyond a certain point, then the fucking weather will change. It'll start raining, usually, and that's often unintentional. And personally, I find rain and armor horrible. So the way to deal with that is if you open up your assets menu with R, go to Systems, 5, and then under Modules, type in Weather, search bar. Then you want to find the 8th weather module. Open your map, find where you dragged off all the other modules to, put it down somewhere near there. Double click it, and you'll see a bunch of drop down menus. You just want to set all of them to disabled. That will basically make it so the weather conditions that you've set up in the mission will stay the same unless there's these changes.
Keep the update interval the same, or that doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. We're just disabling the functionality entirely.
Okay.
Alright, and last things last, would have been earlier, we got the deploy area. Since we've given Bluefall transport vehicles, like they can make the way there entirely, and it gives the Zeus opportunity to throw in some ambushes maybe. See how we react to contact in a convoy, which is usually poorly, but for the sake of keeping things nice and succinct, we'll drag that deploy area down to West Ham, let's say. The town south of Resman.
Bear in mind, wherever you place it, people are going to deploy to it thinking that they can do that with their vehicle. If you put it in a group of trees, they could destroy their vehicle when they deploy to that area.
Yep.
So you want to verify that wherever you end up placing it is a clear enough area for them to move.
Yeah, you can change the area of the marker by double clicking it. You've got a couple size boxes. Those are meant to be in meters, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to guess here and say the road is 3 meters wide, and then you can just define a stretch of road.
It is in meters.
They can deploy in. Okay. So any questions about any of that now? Cool. Save your mission. Now it's time to move on to gear scripts.
Like gear scripts.
Okay, so once again, back out the editor, and then go, if you're on the main menu, there's the tutorials drop down list, go to Virtual Arsenal. It's going to take me about 20 years, so hold tight.
If only it did, I need a cup up,
User
man.
joined your channel.
Yeah, if anyone wants to get a drink or whatever, now's a good time. I could do it
Alright, I'll
myself.
be right back.
You said
I'm
in
gonna
the
do an
virtual
orientation.
arsenal?
Yo,
Virtual
can I do like
Arsenal.
a 5-minute orientation? Because I have a guy up there. Do you think you have time?
Yeah. I mean, I can explain this to you.
Alright,
If you
yeah, I'm gonna go up and do it. He's been
What are
waiting
you
for a while.
explaining now?
Gear scripts.
So how do we load in the gear scripts? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Virtual arsenal.
Yeah, go back to the main menu, tutorials in the top right, and go to Virtual Arsenal.
Got
I'll be
it. So this
right
takes a
back.
second?
Yeah, it takes a while to load. It's
Yeah.
essentially its own mission. Give me a second, I'm gonna go get some water.
Sounds
I'm
good.
gonna roll the joint real quick.
Oh, you're just taking through them how to make a mission, right? Morbo? Hello?
He just wanted to get water.
Oh. You have to yell at me, Mike.
Sorry. Game music and music is loud, so sorry.
My itty bitty heart is broken. I'm gonna go drown myself in
Do it.
alcohol.
Do it, you loser.
You would drown pretty easily in alcohol, wouldn't you? Like if you had a tub full of alcohol, you would just sink to the bottom. I'm right about that, right?
I won't be surprised if you did.
Yeah, because alcohol isn't as dense as water. Yeah, you pretty much just sink in alcohol.
Hey Mike, are you able to test missions?
I'm able to, but I don't.
Oh, okay.
I can, but I won't.
I'm back.
Go fuck yourself. You test your own missions, make sure they work.
I don't have server permissions, so fuck you.
You're on the training server?
No.
Go to the training server, then vote yourself admin.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you want a quick QA, I can do it. But after this.
That's fine.
Oh, you QA missions now too, Morbo?
It's what I was specialist for, but I've not done it yet.
Oh, okay.
First time for everything, right?
True that, homie.
Who are we still
What's up,
waiting?
Dante?
Beef, Koala, you guys here?
How much I'm waiting to roll some dice and be a nerd.
Yep.
30 minutes.
Half an hour.
Push up and get my fake glasses on and push them up and be like, actually.
Actually.
Alright, I'm back.
Been on Beef now.
No worries.
He's probably doing a dab.
He's dabbing on them haters.
Thanks, Connor, you here?
Yeah, I'm here. I've been here the entire time.
Cool. You said you were off for a joint, right, Cave?
Yeah, I'm rolling one.
Oh, okay. Thought you had it in one fucking go.
Is that legal when you're where you are?
Where I am?
Nope.
Oh my. Rebel. You rebel, Cave.
Cops around here don't give a shit. Like, I had a mate who was having smoked down some snicket in one called Keithley, and got rolled up to the
User
end of the
left your
alleyway.
channel.
Goes, "Are you having something special there, mate?" And he goes, "Yeah." Cop just drives off.
I'm right back.
And it's like, I think half an ounce and less down here is like ticket offense. That's it.
You mean you get shot for it, right?
No, yeah, just give you a ticket. Where's that
That's
fine?
easy, mate.
Yeah.
Alright, we're all here, yeah?
Aye.
Okay. So, we're all in the arsenal, right? Anyone?
Yeah.
Alright. So, the guy you're looking at will have a bunch of random shit on him. What we want to do is empty everything, so go through each of the tabs on the left: launcher, rifle, handgun, uniform, etc. Everything up to the glasses, goggles, whatever.
I have a
Roll to the
preset
top.
empty that I load.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting onto.
Alright.
So, empty out all
Right.
that shit.
So just take everything off.
Yep. He don't need nothing.
How do you delete stuff like it's closed, or does he keep them?
So click on the tab and scroll to the top, and then there's empty at the top.
I got it.
While we're here as well, let's go back through each of those tabs, so rifle, launcher, pistol, etc., and sort by mod. This will just make it easier to find what we're after.
How much easier? I don't know why it doesn't default to sort by mod. I'd much
Neither
prefer
do I.
that.
What do you do that at?
Top of each of those lists, there's a drop-down menu.
Oh, I see it. Okay, got you.
Sometimes alphabetically can be helpful if you know the exact name of what it is you're looking for. Yeah, typically sorting by mod is the best way to go. Don't worry about binoculars, map, anything beyond that.
All gets reset anyway.
Alright, once you've rinsed this inventory out, go save and name it empty, hashtag empty should I say. That'll make it always appear at the top, so you don't have to scroll around looking for it. You can just load it straight away when you go to make a gear script. Alright, we all good? No?
Yeah, I'm good.
Hello?
Tracking, yep.
Sorry. Yes, your mic is
yes.
on.
So, for this mission we want Taliban as an enemy. And I know there is a Taliban gear script or some Middle East insurgent gear script floating about, but we're just making this for our own benefit. So for uniform is just, you know, standard clothes, whatever. You scroll all the way down, you'll see a bunch of uniforms with a little black silhouette as its symbol. These are all Project Op 4 uniforms. And a lot of them are Armor 2 ports. If you scroll down to the very bottom of those, just before it gets to the M88 uniforms, you'll see guerrilla coveralls, Taliban/blue, Taliban/brown, etc. So, for now we'll just go with any one of those. Doesn't really matter. We're going to set him up a vest, so something that doesn't interfere too much with that uniform. You'll notice a lot of things can start clipping and shit. Horrible, or just looks out of place. And at the end of the day, these are all entirely up to you. You can set it as whatever you like here. I'm going to go with the vanilla chest rig, so right at the top, the black one, because it's pretty minimal, even though it does clip. It has a fucking hydration pack on. Find something else. Alright, tactical chest rig green from Apex. That'll do it. Then we want a backpack. Not a right lot of variety in them, so don't worry too much of best. For insurgents, I'd probably use the Russian Cedar from RHS. So if you find the ones with the red square with the little white thing in the middle, be it in there. Because it just looks like a fucking bag. That's all we need, right? And then we want to give him a fucking turban or something. So, again, we want to scroll at the bottom of headgear and find one of the turbans. Only 2 of them, so that works. There's more we can do there, but for now, we'll use that as our uniform. So, right hand side of the screen, you'll see a bunch of things where it says set uniform, set rifle, set GL rifle. Once you have something in each of the slots, the uniform, vest, backpack and headgear, click that, and that'll set that up as the uniform that our gear script's going to use. Now we want to go through, well, everyone got that set.
I'm almost there.
It'll take your time. I mean, like, you can dress them up however the fuck you like at the end. You're making the mission or the gear script, you know. Whatever combos you like.
That being said, you know someone here is going to upload this mission.
Oh yeah,
Hey guys, I got a mission to upload.
It should pass QA just fine.
God damn it. I'll personally fail it.
Now I'm gonna try to do some after like real life events, man. Let's see.
Something like what is it? Operation Freedom.
Enduring Freedom.
Enduring Freedom. That's the one.
Alright, we all got our guy dressed up. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah? No? Yeah?
Yep, he looks pretty. Fucking Arma Barbie.
And set uniform, just so we got that out of the way. Now we want to go through weapons. So, the way it works is rifle will typically
User
be
joined your channel.
just
Sorry about that.
rifleman. There we go.
Oh, never mind. I'll just talk to you about it later if you guys are in the middle of it.
Oh, are you you wanting to catch up?
Yeah, how much did I miss?
We're not very far ahead, so are you in the arsenal?
I'll load it up one sec. It should probably be fast. I have a
Okay.
decent PC.
Just once you've got it loaded, dress your dude up as a Taliban-looking guy. You want something for the uniform, vest, headgear, and backpack. And yeah, it's like it doesn't really matter what you're setting it to particularly. Going to make this thing into an actual mission. You can existing gear script for it, or we can make an entirely new one, whatever. Yeah, for now we'll move on. Like basically, all we're doing is going through the arsenal and pressing a button for each of the things that it wants out of us.
Oh, okay. Just making it look convenient.
Yeah, I mean, you'll get what I'm about, like, soon enough. So, as I was saying, like the rifle will typically go to the combat lifesaver, the rifleman, any other class that doesn't have a gear script for it. So, if you placed a different unit from like that wasn't, say the CSOT sniper, say you placed the Arid guy or whatever, and he just came with rifleman and all that. That's why. So, the rifle will go to those two, maybe one or two other classes. The GL rifle goes to Grenadier if there is one, and the squad leader and fire team leader. The carbine goes to pretty much everyone else. So. Weapons teams, assistants, and Mac Gunner in that case, Rifleman AT, Medic. Oh yeah, AAR gets the rifle as well. So just keeping that in mind, we can manipulate it if we want to. So we could give the sniper a carbine if we wanted to fuck with people during slotting. But yeah, that's a bit down the road.
The AR, a fucking sniper.
Or medic, no radio.
That happened. Shouldn't happen, but that happens.
The thing with gear scripts is you can set them up however the fuck you like. There's no limitations here except your ability to understand the text, and it's pretty simple to learn, so don't worry about it too much. So, we want a rifle for our Taliban guy, and I think the thing that makes the most sense is an AK-74. And we have two choices here. Go to the rifle tab and find the RHS shit with all the red square stuff. A whole bunch of different AK-74s to choose from there. But there's also the HLC ones, or NI arms should I say, which is under the blue RHS stuff. Find where it says Ishmash, is that how you pronounce it?
Ishvask, although it's written Ishmash. That's, I think, a Porterman 2, if you will.
Okay. Yeah, if you find those, there's a bunch of different other AKs. Basically, the difference between them is, well,
everything.
For one, like, the ammo is incompatible, so if you give you guys, say, HLC or NI arms RPKs and RHS AKs, the RPK gunners won't be able to use magazines from the rifle. So it's just something to keep in mind. Try not to mix mods unless you're going to go to some length to address it, or it's something intentional, or it's something that doesn't matter.
So for right now, we should just stick in the little red mod, the plain old AK-74.
That's the RHS stuff if you want to.
Yeah.
The disadvantage being that if you wanted your AR to be an RPK gunner, you're going to need an Ishvask NI arm.
But that's fine, because in this case, like, you know, something that does happen quite a lot is if the AAR has compatible mags with
They
his
just start
own
using
weapon,
them.
yeah, it'll just fucking rinse them all. Bonus is that with HLC you can tell when they're doing this, because drum mags and extended mags will actually be reflected in the weapon model. That is not the case in RHS or any other mod as far as I know, or at least the ones we have. But yeah, in this case, for the rifle and everything else except the AR, we will go for the RHS AK-74. It doesn't particularly matter which one. But we can use as many of them as we like. So just pick any random AK-74 and set that as the rifle. If you've done that, same process, we want to find a rifle with a grenade launcher, AK-74 with a GP25, that GL rifle, and for the vast majority of weapons with UGLs, it will already know which rounds to use for. So you don't have to go manually finding, you know, the bug 25s or make sure it's not a fucking smoke instead of an HE grenade or whatever. It'll sort it out automatically. Another thing to keep in mind is the gear script will also automatically determine the number of magazines to give, and it's generally based on the round count of the magazine. So it will try to give riflemen 300 rounds, and it will try to give ARs 500, I believe. As close as it can get depending on the capacity. So if, for example, you're making a different variation of Taliban where the rifle is a Mosin Nagant, you've got to make sure that you don't have riflemen being given 60 clips. It's
User left your channel.
So, once we've got a grenade launcher rifle, we want a carbine. Obvious choice here is AK-74U. And again,
What I did.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which one. But keep in mind that, say if it were Russians we were making, remember that the carbine goes to Rifleman AT and a bunch of other classes that are just mixed in with the platoon, when it's generally a specialty weapon. In that case, we would probably just want a shorter AK, like with the MSV loadout that was default, they have an AK-105 as opposed to an AK-74 for the carbine. But yeah, since it's Taliban's, they're irregular, it doesn't matter about standardization and shit. So, that, and you might have noticed it also has the class name of the magazine that weapon uses in that list. And in this case, the rifle, GL rifle, and carbine are all the same. Mix and match them if you want. You could say have the rifle as a G3 and the carbine as an M4 or an M60. Just got to keep in mind like the sort of logistical effect that'll have, especially if it's a gear script the player's using.
Yep.
So moving on to the AR, we're going to go find the Vesk, or however the fuck you pronounce it, RPK 4. Here's where things can get a little interesting. So when you select that, you'll notice that it has a 30 round magazine in it. Check in the uniform tab. List on the right has all the magazines compatible with that weapon. And by default, it will always give 3 of the fucking most obvious ones as far as the game's concerned. What we want to do here for the AR is remove the 30 round AK-74 mags, and we want to give him a bunch of 45 rounders, or just one. Or
what about the 75 rounders?
You gave him an RPK?
RPK-74. You're looking at the RPK, just the RPK koala. That's why you got drum mags.
That's not what I said.
There's 75 rounders.
Negative.
75 rounds.
I said
XCons has said it now.
Oh,
I had
the fuck.
No. Way ahead
Okay,
of you,
XCon, you're looking at the RPK then.
No worries.
Yeah, I'm
Actually
looking at
don't
RPK.
see the RPK. Never mind, Ishmash, yeah, I see it. Disregard.
Make sure you're sorting by mods as well, Jackie, if you aren't already.
Are we... Okay, this is a HLC rifle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, anyway. So in this case, we're using the 74. Make sure you're with us on that, X1. Again, go into the uniform. It shouldn't have anything else in it. Move the 30 round magazines. Add a handful of the 45 rounders. Now, you might realise that he already has a 30 rounder loaded into the gun. What we're going to do to make it show up that 45 round model is just go try. Then go into the gear, move the 30 rounders and any other 30 rounders that are in the inventory. Unload one of those 45 rounders.
Wait, sorry, could you repeat that? Oh, try. Gotcha.
So again, just go into the inventory, make sure there are no 30 rounders left on him. Put the
I
45
removed
rounders
it.
in the gun.
I gotcha. Oh, it's that simple. Okay.
I mean, it's more convoluted than it should be, but it's fairly
Yeah,
simplistic.
It's
Yeah.
fucking armor.
It's armor simple. How do I
Yeah.
go back after I go into try?
Press escape.
Just escape,
and
yeah.
return to Arsenal. But yeah, the reason we're doing this is because the way the mag switching works, and this is also the case for grips on RHS weapons, so M4s and railed AKs, you can assign grips to them. Essentially, as far as the game is concerned, an M4 with a grip is a different gun to an M4 without one, and it's just a pain in the ass. So we're all seeing an RPK with a 45 round magazine in it now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, set that as your AR. Say something, Kev?
Oh, does it matter what we title them? Like, as long as we just know?
Huh?
Does it matter what we title them? Like, if we
I
know what it is? No, yeah, I titled them, but like, so far they're all like Halal Man. Would that show up as Halal Man in-game? Or would it be AR?
So
Oh,
are you
you on
hitting
about?
save?
Yeah, I'm saving
Don't hit
each one.
save. So on
Oh.
the right-hand side, underneath
Yeah.
you see like set uniform, set rifle, set GL, and it should say export at the very base of that.
Yeah, I say export,
Yeah.
import.
Yeah. You're not
No,
hitting
no,
save.
not those.
You're gonna hit set AR or set MMG.
Oh,
That
fuck.
AT.
Oh, fuck, yeah,
We're
fuck
just
that.
setting specific aspects of the gear. We're using the doll, the paper doll system to pull the individual class names.
So when I click set AR, it sets everything, like even the gear,
sets-
like not just the gun, right?
No.
Okay.
No, it just takes
Let
the
me
gun.
explain.
Okay.
So, basically, uniform is for headgear, vest, uniform, and backpack. Rifle is just the gun in his hands and the ammo that's compatible with it in his inventory. Same for the GL rifle, the carbine, the AR.
MMG, AT.
Thing is, with the AR, in this instance, it defaults to 30 round mags. What we just did was getting the 45 rounders in and the 30 rounds out. If we still get 30 round mags showing up in the export stuff, it's no big deal. We can change it to show right and what we want. But the point of going and trying was to make Arsenal know that it's the fucking RPK with the 45 round model in it. Because
Okay.
if we were to set this as the AR and not do that, but give the guy 45 rounds mags, it'd only show up once they've reloaded magazine, essentially.
So the whole, like everything other than the rifle does not matter at all, or
Wait, what?
that's what I'm getting. Like we're only setting the rifle right now, yeah. And
No, we
nothing
just
else.
set the AR.
Yeah. No, that's not what I meant. Yeah, go on. Never mind. I got it.
Alright. If you want to just go through to catch up with us again, just find the RHS AK-74, set that as a rifle.
Yeah, no, I saved all of them, so I'm resetting them. I'm just loading them all now. Yeah.
I mean, it's quicker to just go through the list and pick. So moving on, we want MMG, something high caliber, so 7.62, or whatever. Case obvious choice again, PKM. That's at the bottom of the RHS stuff. And make sure that there's room in his inventory for a box or two. Again, it doesn't matter how many you give him, just as long as he has some in his, not just loaded in. Then AT is just what the rifleman AT gets, so typically something disposable. In this case, we'll use an RPG 26. And MAT is where things, where people get tripped up quite a lot. So let me know once you're all on the same page and we'll go over that.
You said something about having enough room in his stuff. Don't they automatically get MAT rounds?
Yes,
for
no.
the MMG and the AR?
So sometimes Arsenal can be a little bitch and move some of the stuff that you put in there. Especially if it's like different types of ammo. Sometimes it won't remove it when you change the weapon. It's just a matter of making sure that he has magazines that are compatible with the weapon in his hands that you're setting.
Oh, and you have to go into backpack to do that?
Backpack, vest, uniform, whichever can hold the ammo. And again, you only need one of whatever ammo is unless you're doing, say, normal rifle mags and then tracer mags for. But we'll go over that. Anyone not up to the AT yet? Becky, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Dave, I can barely hear you. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm doing AT, right?
Yep. Alright, so if you go in the backpack, I'm guessing for most of you that that'll have a couple of PKM boxes in it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Remove those, because we've already got the MMG set up. Doesn't matter what's in his hands right now, we could give him a fucking gun and protect us. So yeah, make sure the backpack's empty. And for the sake of workflow, we're going to change that backpack to the RPG carrier. Now we want to go into launchers, find the RHS RPG-7. Sure it ain't the vanilla one or the Apex one, should I? File a dog shit for one.
Gotcha.
For another, when you're assigning AT, make sure that if you're using RHS assets in your mission, use an RHS launcher, or if you're using vanilla assets in your mission. Because RHS and vanilla vehicles have fucked up weird armor compatibility shit going on, and basically a vanilla launcher won't work well against a BTR from RHS, vice versa. So this here is a matter of choice. We can set an optic for the RPG. The one that we would typically use is a PG07V. It doesn't matter which one. I think one has slightly different markings for
range and elevation, windage.
It's the Taliban. They don't get fucking optics.
Yeah, you can choose not to use an optic. That's
like selecting empty. Yeah.
But again, the important thing is that he has ammo in his inventory that we want him to use. So with the RPG-7 especially, we got a fuckload of choice. We got PG-7V, which is the very most basic anti-tank round that it can use. You got the PG-7VL, which is pretty potent. It can knock out like IFVs, like the LAV that we gave blue for would be pretty vulnerable to them. Maybe even go up in one. Again, it's something that if it really matters to you, you'll want to test.
We have the dual head PG-7VR.
And give them as many as they can carry, or at my discretion?
It doesn't matter how many you give them here, just as long as they have one of each one that you want.
Okay.
So you could give them a frag rocket, and then I don't know, a PG-7VL
or an OG-7.
Then, yeah, and then in the gear script we can say he has 2 anti-tank rockets and 1 frag rocket.
Got it.
We can select that manually in the Notepad++, and we'll do that later.
So yeah,
well, some of us only have like 5 minutes left.
Oh, okay. So for the sake of getting through it real quick, let's give him a pair of RPGs, set that as map, and then we want to hit that, well, hold on, tab out, and go to your mission folder, because we're about to copy and paste something, so exporting would just be a waste of our time at this point. You're in there, go into the F folder, then loadouts.
Wait, when did we skip Matt, or was that Matt?
Oh, yeah, just assign it as soon as you got some rockets on.
Matt.
So we don't export? Or do export?
No.
No,
Don't
so
export just yet.
so alt tab. Go to your fucking.
So AT and Matt are
Yeah,
the
I'm in
same
my folder
thing.
right now.
Essentially, this is how.
B.
Yeah, whatever.
Set up the RPG-7, right?
Yep.
And you've given him some rockets for it.
Yep.
Set that as Matt.
Set an RPG-26 as AT.
Yeah, RPG-26 is AT, and RPG-7 for Matt. Got rounds for the RPG. Again, they want to be honest person, and if you get weird shit happening in your gear script, we can.
Okay, tracking. I have caught up with the class.
Okay, so yeah, tab back out into your mission folder, and in that mission folder is a folder called F, and in there is one called Loadouts.
Yeah, I see that.
All with me? Anyone not with me? Alright. So you see
Tracking.
in the...
Jackie, are you orienting that guy
I finished it.
already?
Yeah, for like 5 minutes. He knew Acre and Ace, so I didn't have to go over a whole lot. Just custom actions and how the group works.
Okay.
Alright, so in there we got a bunch of shit that doesn't matter to us. Except US Army CP, I think it'll be, that we're using for Blue 4. In this case we want to make a copy of blank template and rename it to something very simple that you can't fuck up. So in this case, I'm just calling it TAL.
We renaming it or making a copy of it?
Make a copy of blank template and rename that copy. Call it tal.hpp. Want to open that up with Notepad++.
Hey, quick question.
Yeah.
What's the map name for the Winter Panthera? If we're saving it into the Winthera 3?
Yeah,
let me check that for you. Yes, Winthera 3. Based it just.
Doesn't matter if we run it as admin?
No,
Doesn't
plus it shouldn't do, no. In chat room.
If you're following on my fucking stream, I've already done that at this time. Renamed it Tal, and then opened it with Notepad++. It'll show a paste below this line, paste above this line.
Yep, and now we will tab back into
I'll
Arma.
tab back into Arma.
Click on the export button underneath list of shit on the right. And then in between where it says paste it above this line and paste below this line, what do you reckon we're gonna do? We're gonna fucking paste that shit.
Control V, man. It's the same shit.
Is it export the one on the bottom or the one underneath all that shit?
One
on the
underneath
bottom
all
of
of
the
the
list.
shit.
Okay.
Yeah, not the one at the very base of your screen. The one on the right.
Gotcha.
Control V that shit into your TAL folder, the paste below this line, paste above this line.
Alright, everyone done that?
Yes.
Alright, so here's the thing with gear scripts. You can leave it there, but if you scroll below all that stuff we just exported, you'll see a bunch of other defines. So you got SAM, and Sniper, and Spotter, and E, and Pistol, and all that other shit. So, if we were to go ahead and use this gear script on our mission, the Taliban would have a Glock as a sidearm, they'd have a Stinger as their anti-air, would have an AK as their spotter's rifle, and they'd have a Gant as their sniper rifle. Most important one to change for me, pistol. But we'll get onto that in a minute. Let's go over just how to implement that into. So, save that file and go back to the root mission folder, so where you've got all the three folders, F blank scripts and briefing, all that shit. You want to open up cfg loadouts.hpp. Yeah, we all there?
Yep.
Yep.
Alright, so two things in here. One is near the top, line 7, you'll see allow magnified optics equals 0. That's why the Russian marksman and sniper placed earlier didn't have optics for the weapon. So, and it's a shame that we can't disable magnified optics for one side and keep them enabled for another, but something you have to work with. Generally speaking, gear scripts won't have magnified optics included in from anyone but the sniper and marksman if there is. But yeah, the more important part here for our purposes is you look at the bottom, line 44, you've got class opf,
User
and that's
left your channel.
which is the gear script they're going to use. So B, it says include F loadouts RU MSV EMR, that's the OP4 gear script. In this case, we're going to change RU MSV EMR into spcl.hpp and make triple sure that it's the same file name you used for the loadout you made. Otherwise, it will crash your editor when you open it.
So we remove the RU_MSV and replace it with our file name, right?
Yeah, it should look like this. Yeah.
Gotcha.
While your
I mean, not
face is in the
exactly
way.
Alright, I moved that. Thank you. I was being retarded. I forgot to turn that off. Thank you for telling me.
Alright, so we've all got that set up, right?
See.
Yeah. ¿Cómo estás?
There are two ways we can go here. We can either go back into the mission editor to verify that our gear script's working and shows up in the editor as it should. Either that, or we can go further into depth into gear script, like setting up the pistol and maybe even making a different class, or adding random uniform items and shit instead of having everyone look the same. Nice. My fucking mic's cutting out before I've finished speaking and shit. 2 seconds.
What do you guys want to do?
Well, let's go through what we exported a second ago anyway, and make sure that's all right. So, scroll back up to the top of tal.hpp. Should see from line 6 down, camo set, and you've got your camo uniform, which should be something along the lines of LOP UAM fatigue something something. And then you've got the vest, which is whatever you set the vest, backpack, etc. What we want to be sure of here is, one, that the grenade launcher has the right grenades for it. And for me, under GL rifle, I've got 4 different defines. I've got GL rifle mag, which is the rifle component of it, so 545 AK mags, and it's got 10 of them. You see wherever there's a class name for a magazine or ammunition, it's usually followed by a column and then a number, and that'll be the number of magazines they'll be assigned. So, let's say we want to half their ammo because they're Talibans and they're poorly supplied. Just change that 10 to a 5 for each of the ones using those 30 rounders. That's carbine mag and rifle mag and GL rifle mag. And in this case, they're all the same. So, but as far as the script is concerned, they're different. So we could have the guy with the AKS-74U getting 6 mags and my team leaders getting 10, and then riflemen getting 8. We can set it up however we like. But what I was saying before was, what we want to make sure the grenade launcher has the right grenades for it. So you guys should see for GL rifle mag HE, RHS VOG 25 5. Yeah. No.
Sorry, I was supposed to read what Mike posted.
What's up?
I just missed the very last part that you said.
So looking at define GL rifle mag HE, you've got RHS VOG 25. And then column 5 inside those quotation marks.
Yes.
Does anyone not have that?
No, I see it.
And you've all got the, for GL rifle mag smoke, you've got GRD 40, white and red.
Yeah, 2 each.
And then you've got the flare ones as well. See, like I said, it knows, like this script knows what it should be giving them. The exception to that is the HLC AKs, or NR Arms AKs. If you're using the ones with the GPs, you'll have to set them manually, and the process is the same for how we set the pistol, which we'll go over. But before we do, sorry, go on.
If we want to give them no flares, can we delete that line, or do we have to set it to 0? For example, for the GL.
Okay. This is where we want to get into the fucking classes themselves. I'm going to ignore that question for now, but you can omit the flares if you want to. You can completely ignore everything you've just exported if you want. You can completely ignore the SAM sniper rifle, all that shit, if you want. But if you scroll down, you'll see all the different classes. If you happen to notice the class names of the units we placed down in the editor, that's what this gear script references to find out what gear it should give to people. So, for example, Soldier F is the basic rifle, and all the other classes inherit from that. So, Soldier F uses for its uniform what has been defined at the top as camo uniform. So, line 95 references line 9, or at least it's line 9 for me. The one where it defines camo uniform. But if you're sticking around, we'll go into further detail with that.
User
the other
left
thing I
your
wanted to
channel.
touch on is making sure that the mat has his ammo set
User left your channel.
correctly. So, in this case, I've got defined mat RHS weapon RPG 7, and then mat mag is PG7 VL mag 1, and then RHS RPG OG7V mag 1, and then the same for mat mag 2, and then mat optic is empty. Anyone got anything different?
For mat optic, I have RHS
PG07V?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like zeroing 100. It's not like it's not like empty. You said mat optic was empty.
It is for me because I decided to make it empty. But if you set
Okay.
the optic for the map, that's fine.
Okay.
So yeah, in this case, your version of the gear script will get the PG07 for the RPG. Mine 1. Alright. So like we were talking about earlier, we want to give the mat guy 2 AT missiles and 1 HE missile, or rocket should I say. So for mat mag, we will change the PG7VL to 2, the first class name in there, and then leave OG7V as 1. Let me check something real quick. Okay, yeah, cool. Don't worry too much about mat mag 2 because it's not referenced by default in the gear script, but if, say, we wanted the gunner to carry, you know, one AT rocket, 1 frag rocket, and we wanted his assistant to have 2 AT rockets and 1 more frag rocket, that's when we can use mat mag 2, and it's as simple as just adding a 2 to one of the classes down there. But yeah, we'll go over that in a bit. Alright, so as for these other weapons and bits of equipment below the stuff we exported, it's a bit more of a convoluted process to set that up, but it's a simple one at the same time. Simple but time consuming. So let's just set up the pistol for now. If you go back into the arsenal, go into the handgun tab, and let's use the Tokarev, because why not? It's not being used. TT33 is in the list.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna have to go, but could we go over this some other time if there's any like big thing that I'm missing?
Yeah, man. I mean, as far as gear scripts go, you know how to like make them at the basic level, and hook them into the mission. So, like,
Not to mention, I'll take this video since I'm streaming it. I'll take this video and I'll put it on YouTube for you guys.
That and if you really want, if I'm on Discord, just message me and I'll teach you the rest of the way.
Okay, thank you, dude.
No worries.
Yeah, I'm appreciated.
So it's the 6P9 is what we're
User
adding.
left your channel. User
6P9,
left your
where are you
channel.
looking? Oh, that's the suppress Makarov.
Oh, never mind the PM.
Yeah,
I was looking
Makarov
at my
Autocraft
TT33, but
it's
know,
up to you. Yeah, I was using the TT33 as well.
Oh, there it is.
We never
Yeah,
use that.
let's go with that. Again, make sure that the guy's got magazines for it in his inventory. He should do. There's no real reason he shouldn't. But if not, go into uniform or vest or backpack, top right menu, scroll at the bottom, 7.62 by 25. Give him a couple of them. Then we're going to use the normal export button, so the one along the bottom of the screen, not the one on the right. So click that, it'll copy everything to clipboard that he's been assigned as far as ARM is concerned. And tab back out to Notepad++. Before you paste it anywhere, create a new tab on Notepad++ by hitting the new button at the top left underneath file, the little paper with the green plus.
What guy did we just edit?
Huh?
We didn't edit any guy. We're just grabbing the class name for the magazines of the handgun and the handgun.
Alright, so
Okay.
once you're in Notepad, make that new tab in there. Right click on it and click Move to Other View. So now you should have like a split view with your gear script on the left and an empty file on the right. Yeah?
Yep.
Hit paste in that one on the right and you'll see a bunch of shit just pile out there.
Pretty much you don't need the vast majority of that shit.
Yeah, like Koala said, we're just looking for a couple of specific class names, which in this case is the pistol and the magazines. So you'll see at least it's line 23 for me, about halfway down. Comment, add weapons. Any weapons, so main weapons, launchers, pistols, will be under there. Attachments too. So in this case, the one we're looking for is RHS WEP TT33. And you want to double click that. Find Define Pistol in the left and replace the UK 3CB BAF L131A1 with RHS WEP TT33, so it should look like this. And rule of thumb is if there's a class name, it wants to have quotation marks around it. Oh fucking hell, everyone, there were about 5 million people in here earlier.
Yeah, no, it's alright, mate. I mean,
Okay, wait. So I'm on my new tab. I got the stuff I needed, then I hop back over to my TAL tab, and what do I look for?
You look for Define
pistol.
Pistol.
So for me, and in my stream, it's lines 59 and 60, which I've just highlighted. I can make the font bigger if you need it.
No, I tracking. Got it now.
Raj.
Alright. Now we want to do
Occurred
the
to me to
same
do that.
for the pistol mags. So on the right hand tab, have you got it in the split view, Beef?
I have two monitors, but I'm doing it on one so I can broadcast.
Oh, okay.
Raj.
Alright, so if you go back into the thing we just pasted a lot of shit into, all the ammunition and stuff will be in the uniform vest or whatever. In this case, for me, it's in the uniform, and it's RHS mag 762x25_8. Generally, the best way to find the magazines you're looking for is by round count, because they'll usually be mentioned in that magazine's class name. So we got that, and again, we replaced the Glock mag that was in there with that class name. So it should look like this.
Alright, I'm tracking.
Cool. Alright, and in this case, and I mean, I know I was on about Taliban being poly-equipped and everything earlier, but in this case, we've got a pistol with an 8-round capacity as opposed to 17 with the Glock that it was originally. So we can bump that mag count up to 4 or something. Just something to consider if you're doing TVTs or whatever. If pistol mag count even matters.
It doesn't. No one uses it.
Yeah.
If you use your handgun as a tertiary weapon system.
If you use your fucking pistol in 1, a TVT, or 2, any scenario, you fucked something.
So what are we doing? And then that's it for the pistol?
Yeah, that's
Oh, and then if I wanted them to get an appropriate rocket launcher, like a surface to air, I would have to go find that, copy it, paste it in a different tab, find its name, and then paste it in the gear script. Got it. Okay.
That's how you determine and pull the class names for individual items so that you can define them in the HPP. And then what the game does is it just reads what characters are on the map, and it says, okay, well, I've got some CSET op for over here. Let's see what the CSET op for should be referencing. Oh,
poop on her
we need to
butt.
reference tal.hpp.
I don't know why.
It'll grab information from this file that we've created.
Well, because she doesn't want to bother you and she loves you.
Weird for those guys. So when we load into the mission again soon, we're gonna see everyone that was Russian that we put down is gonna have Taliban shit.
Speaking of which, now would be a good time to go into randomization. So, before we do that, I want to quickly touch on the SMG. By default, the SMG is a carbine. So in this case, it will be an AKS-74U. But if they wanted it to be an MP5, it'd be the same process. We would find the class name for the MP5, and I believe I have it knocking about in one of the things I've got open already. I do. So that's what it'd look like if we were to set up the SMG as the MP5. Not that we would, because it's Taliban and it don't fit, but for the sake of argument. The difference here being that when in the default gear script, it's got define SMG carbine and there's no quotation marks there. That's because it's referencing carbine, which is defined as the AKS-74U. If we're plugging in a class name, it wants to be wrapped in quotation marks. The same thing's going on with the spot rifle in its magazine. Just something to keep in mind, because that's tripped me up a few times myself.
But then how do you put optic on it?
Okay.
Then you have to do a define SMG
You really
optic.
want to go into... You don't, but do you really want to go into class manipulation?
No, I'll let the AI just figure it out for me.
You can do it. It's not that. It's you know.
Well.
No, let's keep it simple, because I got to get out of here in the next 20 minutes.
Fair enough. Okay, so that's our gear script pretty much done. I mean, we're not worried about who's using the SMG, because probably not going to have tank crewmen or helicopter pilots to worry about. They're fucking
yes.
Yeah, let's go through randomization, and again, it's a similar process to finding the ship for the pistol. All we want to do here is find another uniform, and then maybe another vest, and maybe another bit of headgear. Use. So I've just gone and got the Bacol hat for headgear, and for vest, just the olive version of the tactical chest rig.
Huh?
And uniform, just the next one down on the list.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna export that, as I did for the pistol, paste it into the thing, and find the class names of each of those uniform items. So, in the normal Arsenal export, it always goes uniform, and then what's in the uniform, and then vest, then what's in the vest, and so on. And then headgear is usually at the bottom. So in this case, I've got this as the uniform class name. What I'm going to do is go back into the Taliban loadout file and go to define camo uniform. What I'm going to do is add comma after the first class name, which is LOP UAM Fatigue 014, quotation mark, comma, and then paste that class name in there with another pair of quotation marks around it. So it looks like this. That'll mean when the mission's loaded, everyone who uses everyone whose class uses camo uniform as their uniform, which should be all of them, will get one of those two. So it's just completely random. We can do the same for vests, headgear, all that shit.
Oh, okay. I just did that.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
Can do the same thing for rifles as well. or any weapon. The only concern being they have to share the ammo, or it just won't work out. So we could put the AKS-74U in the same array as rifles, because they both use the same magazine. So one rifleman CLS or one AAR could get an AKS-74, the other could get an AKS-74U. And then we could do something like set the carbine to an HK-33, and then have a HK-53 as well. Again, because they both use the same magazine, they can be randomized like that, because the class will get those magazines, whichever rifle they get.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, like, unless you want to go further into depth, I know you said you had to go, but we can.
Okay, so now that I've done all of this, how do I make it work? What is Tal? Tal's already hooked into something, or?
Yeah, we went into CFG loadouts, and set that as the op4 loadout. So check that and scroll down to class op5. That's what it looks like for me.
Yep. Okay. I got that.
Alright.
So how would I do like the U.S. Army? Same thing, right?
Oh, in this case, the US Army
Is
the default Blue 4 gear script. They've already got it set up.
Okay.
But if you look up, Tanaka already added us a UCP setup. Hell, he even added in a fucking Marines element, so you could just change. Oh, you were that?
Oh, I've not actually done the American ones yet. I only did the Russian ones so far.
Okay.
Well,
so
must be
fucking,
included in CMF.
if you wanted to change the Blue 4 shit so that we were using Australian gear, there is an Aussie gear script. So basically, you just change what that references. So it'll say Blue F. Now we need to reference F loadouts, U.S. Army or whatever, U.S. Army UCP or U.S. Marines Delta for the fucking MARPAD Delta that they use. So.
Yeah, something like what put in chat. But yeah, it's
exactly
whichever one of those fields. Each of those fields corresponds to Blue 4 Indian Op 4, and you could set Blue 4 as Russians if you wanted to, and Op 4 as US if you wanted to. You could set both as Russians, and they'd both pull from the same gear script.
Yep. I mean, we'd all look the same as the enemy, but there you go.
Yeah.
Could do
be
with
an interesting one.
Okay, so how do I know which gear script is gonna launch as the Blue 4? Army, like which one of those?
If you look at line 36 in CFG loadouts, you've got class Blue F. So that's Blue 4. The one in the middle is Indy, and then the one at the bottom is Op 4. So right now we've changed the Op 4 gear script from IU MSV into TAL, which is the one we've just.
Oh, okay. So I would just need to make a copy of the U.S. Army OCP,
No,
and then
it's already in there.
Well, yeah, but then I would need to, if I wanted to edit it.
Oh yeah, you can just
do the same thing. Okay.
You don't need to make a copy of it. You can just change it where it is, because that's already a complete gear script, and it's being referenced by the mission file, the mission itself. Like you're not going to fuck anything up by changing the gear script, because you've already got the CMF quote unquote master copy on your computer.
Okay. And then how do we launch it?
Yes, that's gear script done now. So you come out of Arsenal, go into the editor, load your mission up. You should see the Op4 dudes have the Taliban gear script that we just made. And yeah, I'm prepared to troubleshoot errors here. Like it or not, they do happen. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if I fucked something up.
if your game crashes, it means that you're grabbing from a your script that doesn't exist. In my case, I just got a bad class name error, for example. I may have put in a bad class name.
Oh, not John Beaver!
What happened?
He's
Like,
a
not
first.
John
He's a first-time go.
Hey. But if you reference now your AI, mine was a soft error, so it's not actually a big deal. Lets me go right to the mission. They all wear Taliban shit now, and it's all variation on what we predefined.
Yep.
Yeah, if you go through and place down, you know, go into up for CSAT men, which should be opened by default, and just slap down a few of those, you should see they generally have kits that correspond to the gear script. So if you place down an AR, you should have an RPK. Place down the fire team leader, or in the editor is called team leader. You should have a AK with a grenade launcher.
I get a flashlight. That's kind of cool. I might have fucked something up because all my guys spawned with the same looking gear, no variation.
If you just plop a few more down, like, the variation is weird because it's not like 50-50. Or in fact, I'm getting to say, or is it just very similar looking uniforms? I can't tell.
I mean, they are very similar looking.
You know, I don't think it takes place particularly until you load the mission, until you preview it.
I don't know, man. It's taking place for me, but
yeah, I must have fucked up somewhere.
Make sure the gear script file is saved as well. Could be it.
And if you reference now, your sniper actually will have a Mosin with a fucking optic. Mind you, it's an M38, but still.
Let's see. No, that.
As long as your fucking TAL HPP uniforms will define camo like this, for example, with a comma and then a space and more quotation marks and such, you're gonna have variation between those different pieces of gear. Same could be said for headgear. I did that as well.
Yeah, you know what? The RPGs didn't even save, to tell you the truth, unless they're just not being modeled properly. They just look like laws. Or is that right?
Really? It sounds more like you didn't export the correct AT elements. If you reference line 31-ish, line 30 or 31 in tal.hpp, you should see your AT. Similarly with MAT, line 37-ish. Say something along the lines of, if you have my stream open, define MAT.
Which one's medium armor? Which one's MAT for Op 4?
Oh, you mean in the
in-game?
The editor?
Yeah.
I think it's missile specialist
heavy
AT.
Missile specialist AT, yeah. And mine has an RPG.
Wait, which one of all the infantry, or is it something else?
Yeah, missile specialist AT on the CSAT men.
CSAT menu.
What does it define for your AT and your tal.hpp? Leave.
RPG 26.
That's why they have laws, not. Oh.
No, AT should be RPG 26.
Well, I gave my guys RPG 7s for AT because the Taliban, I don't care. But you said they have laws?
Well, it looks like a law. It could be an RPG.
Could be an
it
RPG 26.
doesn't look like an RPG.
If it's dark, hit Lima, and you can.
Yeah, turn the flashlight on.
Yeah, put the left flashlight on. Get real close up to that bitch. See if they've got an RPG 26 or an M72 law.
Heavy machine gun team.
I don't have the class name for it, but grab it.
Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah, maybe it is. Beep, beep. Everything else works, so maybe it's just I'm being weird.
I'll check in your gear script. What do you have defined for map?
RPG 7. The RPG 7, yeah.
Yeah, it should be fine then. The guy you're looking for is no, it might you might have been placed down the assistant missile specialist. That's why he's not showing up with the launcher.
Yeah, other than that, everything runs.
Alright, I should go myself anyway. Any filing questions before I go?
Nope. Thank you.
No, but I'd like to thank you, yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Means less work for me at the end of the day.
Oh, it doesn't like my 18 mag, but otherwise everything's good.
Alright, I'll catch you guys later.
Later, man. Thank you again.
User disconnected from your channel.